Right.
Now, give me a second. All right. By accident, I muted the microphone. It's good that I spotted that. So let me elaborate again. So you can have this as your homework video as well, and I might use it on YouTube as well. So I'll start with the. I think since you used yo-yo and you know what you do, you put it on one finger and you go back and forth, up and down. So same scenario. What happens with the yo-yo when you throw it down? You
It
tell
bounces
me.
back.
Yeah. So and remember what we say, since it's going down, it's building some speed, momentum, then it slows down as it reaches the limit of the rope or whatever was using, and then it comes back up. But you can actually affect the yo-yo by moving your hand down or up, like to speed it. If it comes back, you move your hand up, you could pull it in and give it a little bit of like momentum. When it reaches the bottom, you could pull it in and it's gonna fly back up very fast. So when you can manipulate the speed of the yo-yo, you can manipulate the rotation. So it's the same logic here. When we do modulations with the throttle, first we need to have rotation induced. So let me put it this way, so it can make full sense for you. If we don't throw the yo-yo down and it stays in our hand, how can we make any adjustment on it, right? There's
Oh
no
man, that,
speed. There's no speed, right? Like what can we amplify? Nothing. It's stationary in your hand. So if I throw the yo-yo down, now it has some speed. So it's like with the car. If you don't turn and set direction to the car to where you want to turn, where you want to go, then any amplification or adjustment with the throttle is not gonna do jack crap. So it's the same logic. It's like the car drives straight. You want like first to slip the car, set direction first, tell the car where you want to go, steer with the car, first the wheel, then the pedal follows. So steer the car, tell direction, how many degrees, to which direction you want to go, then you do the adjustments with the throttle. You know the base amount for this specific layout. For the big donut, we use 80% roll. So when you know the base, you go up to the base, you go to 80. Then, now you pick what range of modulations you want to. Once you know the base, you pick what range of modulations you want to use. What I mean by this, I mean that if you want to maintain speed, you like the current speed, you like the current angle, you want to maintain it, 5 and even less than 5% is perfectly enough. Little pulsings, vroom, 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 enough to play with the grip, the wheel spin of the car. And once you have, that's the number one rule, if in order to make or like either create more rotation or keep the current present rotation, to keep to ride it and keep it going, maintain it, you need to have rotation present, as I just mentioned in a moment. That means first you induce rotation with the wheel, then you follow up with the throttle. Otherwise, the throttle only alone without the steering wheel can only maintain it for so much. Let's say you induce the rotation and you go on the throttle, eventually every rotation dies. So you do have to help with the steering wheel, give very little inducements. Once you start going and maintaining it with the throttle, you have to super little, like 5-10 degrees, and I'm pretty sure you notice already that you barely have to touch the steering wheel. That's why you
yeah.
see me, when you see me on the videos, it's like, bro, like you cheating. What you, I'm here busting my butt, like steering, turning, giving on the gas while I'm doing jack crap and the car's just going in a circle. So that's the logic. First the wheel, then the pedal follows. You tell direction where the car to go, then you adjust and manipulate what happens with the car. Does that make sense?
Oh man, that was the missing puzzle. Thank you so much. That's a great analogy with this like dead yo-yo. That's a perfect. That's what I needed. That's exactly that.
Because any manipulation to the car is what? Like anything within like the wheel spin, controls like our grip. So when we control the wheel spin, we control, which is controlled by the throttle and all these things. That means we're manipulating the car. We're not doing anything external on the road unless you get like some pipe and fuse, whatever, and you start like blasting water on the road and stuff, right? So I think you get the point. So first we guide the car with the steering wheel, then we manipulate the rest, manipulate the car. We
Perfect. Makes
create
perfect
rotation.
sense.
Yeah, create rotation, then manipulate it. You decide what to do. Big modulations, we do big modulations, these massive ranges that you see me non-stop, like digging rum 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 rum, and then like a lower and so on. The reason why I do this in the some of the challenge videos and stuff is because it's a very tight road. And first, not only I'm doing with the modulations, one very huge benefit you can do with them is that I'm feeling the grip. I'm digging to find the grip. But the big modulations, why I use them? First, when I modulate, they keep the present angle. So I might want to keep that angle, right? Why? Because that angle might be big and create a lot of resistance. So not only when I'm lowering the wheel spin, I'm gripping up, that means I might want to slow down, in a nutshell, to just simplify everything. If I do massive modulations, big modulations, I do it first to keep the angle so the car doesn't get out of drift. And as I just said, I keep the car in drift, I keep the angle, and I slow down. If I do small modulations like high bass, like we need to do now, 80%, small range, 5-10%, that's mainly, if it's 10%, it's mainly maintaining the speed, with 5% kind of the same. And then if you want, you could increase up and down, above the bass to potentially temporarily increase the speed. So, it's up to you. Increasing the range, of course, will slow you down or maintain the current speed. So that's in a nutshell. The ranges are very simple. Don't worry, we'll get to them and I'll explain. But
All right.
when you're ready, you can go give it a try. Remember what we said about the yo-yo. You wanna, at the moment, what you want to do. So when you go to when you initiate, you go to maintaining. We know the base, right? So yes, when the tires when now the tires are a bit colder, you might go a little bit above 80, like 85, but later 80 will be the base, right? So then
Yeah.
you just do very quick, small pulsings. Okay, nice. Stabilize it. It's gonna be a bit gripped up now because the tires are cold, but I like that the fact that we worked ourselves to adapt. You see how much you managed to rotate the car at first there, like you gave a little steering, and then when you did the modulations, it actually happened to be a little bit more turn than you anticipated. It started to turn way more. So you see how much you can manipulate. Unlike just looking at the degrees of the wheel, you're not doing jack crap most of the time. And of course now you're just getting the feeling of it. So think of the steering wheel is like how much you turn is like where you move your hand. Imagine you want to toss the yo-yo and you want it to touch something. Let's say you have a pet. You're tossing, your cat is non-stop moving, move this direction, move that direction, moves like 5 centimeters left or right, and you're constantly throwing the yo-yo at her. Not to hit her, but just somewhere in front so she can play, right? So that's exactly what you're doing now with the wheel. It's like you're doing the most micro turns into the turning zone. You see, like 5, 6, maximum 10 degrees. Just changing super little, going to the turning zone a little bit, going to the turning zone. Every now and then you're giving the smallest of guidance, telling the car turn left, want to continue the course going left, and then you do modulations.
Gotcha. Yeah, I just need to get the hang of it.
I think we haven't gone into the grass session, the off-road, yet, have
Nope.
we? Turn a little bit
No,
to the
we
right,
haven't.
because I want the car. I want you to point the car a little bit. No, not reverse. I wanted you to just point the car a little bit. Yes, a bit more to the right. Just right. Give it like 150 degrees to the right. Turn the car. I want you to position it. I want the front of the car to point a little bit out of the donut. So that's gonna give you this wider trajectory. Okay, good. That should this should help you out. I don't want the car to just dive and flying narrow towards the bottom of the donut. You have to have this annoying part where you have to steer yourself and fight the car. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
Try now.
Right.
See, this didn't fly directly down to the bottom of the donut. It actually slipped you in more in an angle. It's just the basics, like, and I'm pretty sure you already remember this. If the initiation is trash, then you have to fight, stabilize. Why all this hassle at the beginning of the initiation, Set up everything right, and you have an easy time. You won't notice because you're focused, but like, that's exactly what you're doing right now. You're keeping the speed between 27 to 28 kilometers without any issues. The line is perfect. The car doesn't budge. It's like you catch the wave with the surf in the beach and you just ride it. That's exactly how it looks like. No sudden adjustment, no shaking, no, just like it flows super smooth. This will apply to any car later. Doesn't matter what you grab. Dow GTS, whatever. The pro cars, like, once you understand these fundamentals, these modulations, of course there's a lot of other techniques and important things that you need to learn, but the concept is the same. It's just the car might be more aggressive and so on. You know what I mean? So the concept is the same. Then all it's left will be just the reaction time. And once your reaction time gets like bulletproof, you can drive any car like without problem. And of course, reaction time is something you build with experience and practice. So there's nothing to worry about. There's things that you need seat time for, of course. Oh.
Oh, that was a decision.
You can always, the moment you see something bad and sudden happening, it's absolutely justified. Just cut off the throttle if needed for a second and come back, or when you see car over rotating out of your supported angle, just start lowering a lot and stuff like that. You don't have to spin out. Like, do whatever you need to save yourself.
Yeah. Oh, just wanted to short break.
No worries. Take your time. Right. But I hope that this whole thing makes sense now.
Yeah, absolutely.
Do you think you can go tight? Take a little break?
Yeah, I think so. Let's see.
No, you're making absolutely zero mistakes on the big donut. And that's the first session that we started with modulations. And you said you're bad at them and you can't do them, and now I see you just like having no problems with them. No, just start over, but like, I know you're processing ahead. You're thinking in the future. I want you to think in the present. Like, that was, I never saw you. I never saw you. You never initiated like this. I'm like, I know you're literally in the future. Come back to the present.
Yeah. So it's like, I had a similar story yesterday. I was at my physiotherapist and I said to him, bro, like, my knee is in pain and I've never got a knee pain, like ever. I'm so lucky, like I never experienced that. And he looks at me and he asks, dude, you have a bladder problem. Like, what the fuck? And he's like, how much do you piss today? Like, shit, like every 15 fucking 30 minutes maximum. And he's like, yeah, that's your knee pain. I'm like, what the fuck just happened?
No,
yeah.
That's strange, but you see how everything is connected.
That's a theory, like physiology, right? Like this is the same. Like you're absolutely right. I was thinking about modulation and yeah, the initiation
Your
was
mind,
fucked.
you're doing something, but your mind is elsewhere. It's
Yeah.
like reminds me of the people crashing, looking at the chicks on the road. Look at the road, like he's getting distracted. So, think of the present. Now, here comes the fun part. I told you we're gonna deal with the. You can absolutely do this, of course, with the lower modulations. You have to help a lot with the steering. However, I want to make this task easier for you. Since we're doing modulations now, the goal of this session, of course, you learned extremely fast, so I can push you more harder. And I think we can take all the ranges of modulation today. It's not gonna be easy, but for you it might be. We'll see. Go to the big donut. You know how. You can block the wheel. There you go. Easy. Bro, you know all the drill. Nice. Now, I want you to remember the following. Just drive normally, just cruise on the big one for a moment. So, here's what I want you to remember. The tighter we go, I want you to increase the range of modulations. Why? Because we need to. I want you to shift more weight and constantly pump the back out. So we need that big angle. And when you make that big angle, yes, we're gonna lower the speed, but we don't need much speed for such a tight space. But the goal is to constantly pump that angle out, and you will also have to steer less. So when you come here, you have to do bigger modulations, like dropping down to 50 even, 40s. If you feel like getting the muscle memory first, neutral, whatever you think is better, I think you can dive it in and you can try it out. Do big modulations, you'll feel how much rotation you're getting. First, you need to see what does that much input does to the car. Now you're doing about 5%. Give it more, 30%, like half the pedal. Try half the pedal, modulating quickly. I think your pedal springs are stiff, so I don't even know if you can do that, to be honest. And not only to do it, but like quickly.
Let me settle in.
So I'm gonna lower a little bit the engine. Okay, there's some progress now, like with 10-15%. You see how much it pops the angle? So yes, you can work this out, but you have to steer constantly. So like left modulation, 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 modulation. The big ones. I think if you have stiff springs, it's gonna be a bit hard.
Yeah, it is
But
kind of.
so you gotta really loosen them up. Yes, you're gonna lose some force feedback, but it's gonna allow you. You can absolutely do it with this kind of modulations as well. It's just you keep way more. You keep the power a bit higher, and you see it's way easier to push you out. So you can keep it super tight by keeping that big angle, which will restrict you in speed, and that will form that super tight circle. So left, more left, and like big modulations, like you see. Give left and big one. I want big modulation, 50%. This can work as a start. You see how you pump the back out? Now you have bigger angle. That bigger angle keeps you way tighter than before. So yes, you do have to steer yourself, but not that often. Every like 2 seconds. Like now, wait, and now again, and wait, and now again, and wait, and now again, and wait. You see? And you grab the rhythm. It's again, everything is about timing. You have the timing, of course you can get away with a lot of things. But try bigger inputs. Even if it's exactly what we've worked as bad habit to get away from the beginning, you know, that big modulations, the big modulations, you see me do them all the time, but you need to know what you're doing first. That's why I want people to be gradual first. You can't jump to these big pulsings and so on, because otherwise you drive the car like I was showing in the How to Drift #1, that video that's more popular, has more than 100,000 views. Because that's the easiest, like gas, like on off, on off, on off on the gas. Very, this is not, it's beginner friendly, but for the wrong reasons. Because
Yeah, got it.
it's a low speed. The lower the speed, of course, the easier it is for you to see what's going on, keep the drift and so on. But you're mashing the pedal, you have absolute no control, no understanding. I do that, but I still do it like gradual. I'm not bashing the pedal. I looked videos from me before where I was like bashing the pedal on off, and that's what people learn. No, you need to know how to do the modulations, but still be gentle on the pedal. Like you could be quick but gentle and go with the flow. So try now, put neutral, and I want to see you do like high modulation, like 50% or something, or at least
All right.
40%. Anything that's a bit bigger than what usually would be.
So I decreased the preload on the springs already, but it has this fucking damper, and it's like it's killing my leg.
I know what you mean. Because before my TLCM's springs bent, I'm lucky that they bend. They usually break, snap in half. But before, I think a year or whatever, two, they bent. The last time that one snapped, and once they bent, they lost almost all the resistance. They have resistance just to push the pedal back up, and I'm happy with that. And I'm like, wait, they have almost no force feedback. It's like a spaghetti springs, like spaghetti resistance. It's like a real car. I push the pedal, I barely feel anything. So I like them this way, honestly, way better. Like, it doesn't tire my foot, because previously these goddamn stiff springs, I noticed, okay, the stiffness, I have more speed, more force feedback because of the resistance that's put in. I can feel how much I'm pushing, kinda. But
Yeah.
at the same time, after 1 hour, my leg is fried, or sometimes 30 minutes. It really depends on how much like you're driving, if you do brakes, but you can drive for a longer time and periods. So this way, when my uh, springs have like spaghetti resistance, just enough to push my pedals back, that doesn't tire my feet. And yes, you might not be as absolute 100% precise, but my muscle memory is almost on point. 90-95% I hit where I want to, and you see me being able to do all these fast adjustments and drive for a very long period of time. So
Yeah, makes sense.
I think this is way better trade-off than being limited on how much you can drive, because you get exhausted. And imagine you want to drift and then maybe go play football on something. Like, bro, where are you gonna play? You're
No
you're
way.
you're cooked, or do something else. So that's my point. Okay, let's see if you can do big modulation. Come on, stomp it badly on the pedal. Let's see. I know you can do like big range, 50%, half the pedal. Release half, push back. Release half, push back. Increase it progressively. Stop pushing, pulling your foot more. But you see, even here, like this, if you steer, hard enough, you can get it. I know you can do it. I'm pretty sure that the pedal is stiff as hell, but you'll go out. Remember, you don't change the trajectory suddenly, all of a sudden. You need to act before the time has come. You have to change it early. So it's like, whatever will have to be corrected, you need to start correcting it a second or two earlier. Because
Yep.
you're like, there's like, think of always like, there's always like a delay. You don't suddenly change the trajectory like 9 degrees. The car is still going to slide. It's just you wanna, when it goes like this, you want to change it a little bit early so it goes like this. So you can't change it sharply, but like you could change it within like a second or two, depending how fast you do your inputs.
Yeah, it's just a multitasking issue right now, but that's just
Yeah.
it needs to be trained.
Of course. The sharp
But
changes are like with a handbrake, brake slam, flicking the wheel and stuff. This is not for now. But for
Sure.
this type of purpose, when you're approaching something and then you want to keep circling around it, just if you're going to use low range, since we want to suit this to you because you have very stiff springs, we don't want to kill your feet. What you want to do is you will have to split it 50-50. You will still have to be more steering predominant. So you will have to steer still quite a lot.
Ah, got it. Okay.
So now to make, you see, everything is variables. So to suit your case with the stiff pedals, I want you now to forget about us doing almost all the job with the pedals like I would usually do, just because I'm lazy and I want my hands to rest. Now we're gonna use our hands and feet in synchron, so they're gonna both do quite a lot of jobs. Steer and steer and steer, and you'll find what's too much. Okay, now, yes, you did clip the small donut, so that pivoted you, so we're gonna give it another go and see if that was too much steering. We're gonna find the limit. What's too much? And remember the golden rules. Once you find what's too much in inputs, then we'll find what's too less. Okay, that's too much and we're fishtailing the car. So now the inputs might be good. We're trying to figure out, is it the timing, is it the inputs? Make sense? So is it too fast? Is it that we're steering? Is it the inputs that are good but we're steering too fast or too slow? Or we're giving too much inputs with the steering wheel or too less? It's definitely not too less because we're spinning up. But it could be the timing issue as well. So it's always either one of these two or both are the problem. It's either the timing or the inputs. That's what we're digging now to find. So go slow, go at your normal tempo. Hold on the counter steer. There you go. It wants to stabilize, but don't fishtail it. I like how you snap to the right to counter steer. That was good save. Otherwise, you would have spin out. Oh, you see the delay. Now you're going to go out. Before you reach, remember Adam, before you reach a certain area, the car is still sliding. It's not going to stop sliding. Before you reach the object or place you want to go, you would have to already make the car turn way more before you're there. Like this. You see how it's almost like you stopped and glued in that certain circle. But when you already reached the donut and then you turn the car, now you flew out in a distance from it. So act before you reach the destination, just as you're reaching it, as you're approaching. It's almost like you have speed. You saw me do the third gear layout, right? Or the dive loop. You saw them. So,
Yep.
or Drew is. So you're not gonna snap the car in this massive angle to slow yourself down when you're already in the corner. You need to start slowing yourself down for the corner. When you're in racing, like you go to race, you don't slow yourself when you go in the corner itself. You start just as you enter the corner at, worst or before, depending on the speed, right? Or of course the cars around you. So in this sense, I want you to think racing. You prepare yourself for the corner. So make the adjustment. Think of braking. But this time you're actually steering the car, turning. If you want to get the right trajectory, steer the car early. Steer, because you're getting out. See? Boom. Now you got a little bit out of it. You got away. Early, more. So, if this input is not enough, we could give more input, or you could increase the frequency. If that helps. So, if too much input disturbs the car, you don't like it, increase the frequency. Like, If you do like left, right, then do like left, right, increase the frequency, okay? So the
Yeah,
timing.
got it.
Always look, you can adjust almost anything to your liking. Of course, depends to the car. This applies to any car.
Okay. But honestly, I'm not sure whether I feel what these big ones are doing on the tight donut. Like I still feel that I need to, fight the steering wheel. Maybe the only thing I feel is like less force feedback on the wheel with this technique. But what else is changing? Maybe I'm not noticing.
You shift way more weight and the back steps out and you get that massive angle, and the car will just drive itself around in the super tight circle because of the angle. So
Okay.
in a nutshell, well, I'll show you in a second. So give me a moment.
Yeah, sure.
Let me see if I can find. Give me a second. So I'll find it for you. Give me just a second. Let me go on the channel real quick. One moment. I'm pretty sure I had a. I can use the Logitech as an example, but I'll just listen. Wait, where's I'm getting lost in my own videos, bro. Give me a second. This is ramp up maintaining. There you go. All right. Let me give me just a second. So give me just a moment. I want to find where's the.
No worries.
I'm gonna find now where I do the tight donut real quick. So, where's the OBS? There you go. So, all right. So, this here. Now, you watch.
You're not sharing.
I'm gonna share them.
All right.
Let's see. Entire screen. Boom.
Yeah. Okay.
All right.
Got it.
So, let me go from size, but you won't be able to see the steering wheel. So we're gonna do something. Maybe I'm trying to adjust my camera on the OBS and the stuff so you can also see. But let me do like maybe like this a little bit so you can see. Can you see this as well?
Yes.
So I want it to be visible on the recording, bro, not for something else. So now watch. Look at the graph. You see? It's not like 50%, so it's manageable. Yes, I'm changing the base nonstop because I see. Look, when I see the car is pushing out, I lower the base a little bit or I increase the range. So I need more grip. More I grip up, I slow down, I go tighter. I see that I'm getting too tight, I increase the base or lower the range, and but it's more logical that I keep the same range. And you see how the my graph, it goes a little bit up on the base, so I give more power to push myself wider. So more speed, you go wider. Less speed, you go tighter. So the logic is, if you increase the range of modulations, yes, to shift more weight, the back steps out, but I am losing speed because of the angle. You might get temporarily some momentum because of the weight transfers. You whip the car if you whip the car, but if you're in the same angle, you're just restricting some more speed. So, in a nutshell, let's see if here was me. Where was I going tight? So I think here. So let's look again. Trying to give you a showcase. Look how big modulations. Now, if this is hard for you, you see how I'm changing the bass nonstop. So
Yeah. Yeah. I can see that.
I do steer a lot, and here I think I'm breaking down the angles, small angle. What am I doing here? So I have no idea what I'm explaining, but I'm just waiting to see for examples. I only need the showcase of the car and so on just to explain. So this has to be, I guess, the final of the big angle, where I wanted to show that look at the smallest of modulations. Bro, just exactly what I'm telling you. The big ass angle just carries you tight. Look, look, look.
Hmm.
This is exactly the modulations that you can do perfectly. This is not something you cannot do. These are the modulations that I saw you do. The same goddamn modulations. Look, big ass angle. You get that
Yeah.
massive angle, the big ass angle. And now I went very high. This is like what? That was, I need to check, bro. 85? What are these modulations very high? I'm gonna go back. Give me a second. Let me see. 90. I think I'm hitting
No.
90 even
Yeah.
at certain point. It's like 10 to 15% modulation, just 75 to 90, something like this. High power to get that loss of grip, shift some of the weight, and like let me pop the back out to maximum. That should be like the maximum angle you can probably pop with this car. So, and again, you find I was progress. So here's the logic. You ask why I didn't get that angle right off the bat, because when you're not exactly sure how much is too much, what I'm doing is I'm touching it. You know, I am, of course, no space to all the recordings, but what I'm doing is I'm feeling where's like the slip point. If I run out of the angle kit, I don't want the like to spin out, of course. So what I was doing, I was very slowly, I progressed up on the power to see how much the car can sustain. When I saw that, okay, I can modulate up to 90, so far so good, and it gets the job done. You know, I'm perfectly around the small donut. Why do I need to go higher than 90? Makes sense? So
Yeah.
I'm testing the angle. It's all testing. It's like what women do to us. Like they're always testing us with some garbage. So it's the
Yeah.
same thing. I'm testing the car to see, okay, is that angle good enough? Is that angle good enough? You see, it does the perfect circle around the donut. Okay, gets the job done. You know, great, keeps the angle, keeps me in drift, keeps me in line. Why do I need more? 10-15% modulations around 80 to 90. Perfect. Easy. I don't need more. I'm testing. Okay, that's good. I wait there. I stay there. That range modulation, that base of power, that's good for me. And I keep that angle. So find the power you need, find the angle you need, and then you can just dig and find the range. So, and this, of course, this once you adjust your springs in the future, you'll be able to do all the ranges without a problem. But that's why I told you this is way better to have the springs very loose. First, it's like the real car. I don't know how in your how is your real life RX-8? Are they stiff or
No, it's normal.
it's
Yeah,
like
no, it's
normal
pushy.
car?
It's like, yeah, it's like a normal car. It's not nothing close to a sports car. It's, yeah, it's way too, too much trouble as for my
Hmm.
preference even. Throttle is pretty much the same. It's just this fucking hoising first have this like, I don't think it's natural damper. I need to either
Hmm.
like check if the preload can be regulated or just get rid of this shit because it's like completely unnecessary.
I see.
This
You can
damper.
check. Can you change these things in the software, or maybe there some springs and things you can adjust?
I
You
mean,
can check
I
that.
could, like act against it in the settings, but then that doesn't change the fact that my leg is, just
Yeah. You.
fatiguing slower. So
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And also, you don't want to
anyway,
like you want the equipment to last longer, so you don't want to like it's almost like in the real car where like the brakes are activated, but okay, I'll overcome them by giving more gas. You know, like they're still wearing down the brakes, right? So my point is that you don't want to use something to overcompensate for the pedals being that stiff, like, and just start wearing them out way faster, right? So like,
yeah,
if you
yeah,
can find a way that is safe for the equipment, because like it costs money, right? We all need money, so to survive. So
yeah,
check. I want you to dig in the internet, see what you can do, and we'll work from there. But so far, so good. You do the big donut without any problem. The car is just driving smooth as hell, and I showed you that you can do the tightest donut, even with these modulations that you had. So they might
yeah,
you might afford like the smallest range, like 5 to 10% max, because you have super stiff pedals, but I showed you that's perfectly enough as long as you create that big rotation, that big angle, then you just maintain it, staying high. That's all. Man, this meat is so overcooked. That's a, don't worry. You know that this is a good spin out because you're learning from these things. You needed that to know what's too much. Okay, now remember, anytime you get to here, steer, 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 because you're gonna go out. And you can use bigger modulation a bit quicker. Oh, counter immediate. The moment you notice any sudden change, Adam, I want you immediately counter steer. You counter, like in the rally, you counter the oversteer. Anything that's happening that's gonna screw you over, you counter it and stop it immediately. Just stabilize the car, full right if needed. Good. Now, once you found the modulation range, that's good. Let's figure out the steering now. So, if you can't push your pedals more, and that's your limit, let's now work on the steering. See how your hands can help your feet, okay? So,
but this is good right now that I'm hitting the the 100% because probably this is where the damper kicks in, and that's the biggest things that fatigues me, because like it doesn't. Well, it's a damper, right? So the faster I push, the faster it blocks me, right? The more it blocks me. If I'm linear, then it's pretty good. Then I can regulate with the spring preload. But this fucker is fixed.
I get you. But that's why, as I told you, everything has its limitations, and everything has its downsides. As people complaining you can't drift with the Logitech, well, I proved you wrong. You absolutely can. Does it has its limitations? Yes, it's not as fast. It doesn't have the power to perfectly steer like the other steering wheels and stuff. But once you find the problem, you can find what you can help to compensate and adapt to it. So I found how to help a little bit more with the steering with my hands. So now, once you know you have this problem with the pedals, just try to keep it steady and balanced with the pedals. Do what you can, help with, or like do whatever work you can from the pedals and compensate with the steering wheel. Just remember, steer. You can steer more often. Just go gradually because you're still applying a lot of weight transfer, a lot of loss of grip from the rear because you're using the throttle. So if you set big rotation, that's why you're fishtailing, because you're already doing a lot with the pedal, and you gotta find exactly how much you can push with the steering wheel without this biting you in the butt. Good. That's good. Keep turn, because it's gonna. You see how it's settled? It's gonna, when you do big rotation, eventually it's gonna settle down very fast as well. So you do big fast rotation, it settles down. That's why you see me do like left and right and left and right and left and right. It's, you see how it settles down, and then you felt it. It's subconscious. You felt it subconsciously, and that's why you lowered in. Like, you gotta. I want you to pay huge close attention to the hood of the car, how like the rotation slows down when you do big turn. The car is not meant to sustain this angle. That's why it's almost like you're forcing 90 degrees or reverse entry, and the car wants to snap you back. Hey, what you doing? Like, I can't help this angle. Makes sense? So when you do this big turn and you start gaining that big angle, you start running out of like the supported angle kit, what the car can sustain and maintain in drifting. Then the car want to like chill down, like snap you back straight, and that snap you counter by going left. And when you go reverse entry, that the snap is even bigger, so you have to go like hard left if you do like
Got it. All right.
So like just you want to counter basically the straightening out. If the straightening out is going hard right, you go hard left, counter it out. That will slow it down. It's almost like you use brakes. That same effect. You're slowing down the snap. And sometimes that's why you see me when I dive in some corners, do reverse entry, I'll even like wait on the clutch, and as the car starts to snap back from the reverse entry, I'll use the brakes if it's gonna be a massive snap super fast, and I notice that, I'll use as I'm holding on the clutch to kickstart the car when it's in the right angle, I'm going on the brakes to slow down the front. And then I like go on the gas and then release the clutch. Once the car looks where I want it and has the right angle. Left, 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 more. You see how we're gonna start to go out. So we gotta do early. You need bigger angle, Adam. That means either help more with the throttle or use more of the steering wheel. You see now when you started to help more with the throttle, how suddenly it changed. So now I want you to find, we need synergy. We need good synchronization. How much you help with the wheel, how much you help with the foot. So we gotta find that. First, to not burn your brain, pick one. You wanna find the right tempo amount with the pedal that's not gonna burn your foot. And then when you're like, okay, that's good, otherwise, my feet get tired, then you switch to what you do with the steering wheel, okay? So let's figure out the foot first. Very good. This is good, this is good. More steering, a bit more, a bit more, a bit more, a bit more. More, 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 more. The moment you see like, oh, I'm starting to go out, you gotta steer. Don't snap the wheel. Steer more, keep going gradually left until like you see you're going well. Everything starts to stabilize and you stay tight, but don't snap. Because if you fishtail it, then the car is gonna hard settle, it's gonna push you out. And then to counter the settle, you need some experience to build that visual memory of when the rotation slows down so you can counter it. Everything's savable. But does this make sense?
Yeah, it
Everything.
does.
When you start using throttle steering, that's the throttle steering in a nutshell. Throttle and steering together in synchronization. So once you start doing that, it's up to you to decide how much you want to use with one thing, how much you want to use with the other thing. Of course, for me, the correct thing is using the throttle. Just navigate, use the steering wheel a little bit. You're not going to use as much of the steering wheel. You're going to use the throttle to manipulate the car, and you're just going to guide the car with the steering wheel. But if this situation occurs where like your feet get tired or you have very stiff springs, you can do more with the steering wheel rather than doing the main job with the pedals. You can split it up, or you could just you could barely do anything with the throttle and you could do mainly steering. You already passed the steering challenge. You know exactly how to steer yourself to everywhere, right? So use that to your advantage. You know how much to steer. Now you gotta find like, oh, okay, using this much modulations, shifting that much weight with the throttle is actually giving me that much angle, so I don't have to steer like that much. I can tune down my inputs with like 20%, and that's it. Just balance. It's like if you feel, think of this. Let's say that if you're gonna bring two big tubes of like, or bottles of water, like 10 liters, whatever, you use it on one side, it screws you up because like the weight is not distributed well. It starts to screw your back, and you get pain and so on. So you have another jug, big one, right? So what you want to do is you can distribute them so that you don't screw your back and have this back pain and everything to be shifted either to right or left. So you want to make both sides, balance it out, make both hands, where the same amount, like if you can 5 liter, So in your case, if you can do half of it with the throttle, do the rest of half with the steering wheel. In most cases, what I do is, I'll do like 20% of the work with the steering wheel, and I'll do, which will be 2 liters on the left, which, because I mainly steer with my left hand, and then I'll use like, let's say my right hand is the pedal, then I'll use 8 liters on the right side. But I hope you get the point. So you
Got
could
it.
all
Yes.
you could, it's like you split from one cup to the other, or like one jug to the other, like the water. You could always change how much one tool does how much work, and the other tool how much work it does as well. But that's the synergy, the synchron that you're building. That's
Makes
why it's
perfect sense.
this is why
Yeah.
it's throttle steering, because these are the two main components of you literally drifting the car. Throttle steering is everything. You master throttle steering and how to push the car to the absolute limit, and what is the limit of throttle steering with each car. Then when you add the other tools, everything comes to place. Like, you'll be amazing. You'll be absolutely phenomenal. So that's in a nutshell. And of course, it requires practice. You can see that without practice, doesn't matter like how good you are. It's plenty of great drivers already in the Assetto Corsa, but without practice, doesn't matter if it's me or somebody else. If I don't practice and I jump in once every 2 months, like now, where like I only drive and make a video when I want to have some fun. I only drive when I have to.
Mhm.
Of course, you start to get rusty. But if you practice this, like they say, if you don't use it, you lose it. But if you
Yeah.
practice all the time, things stay with you. So just remember what we talked about the ranges. Remember what we talk about everything. It's gonna stay with you. Just keep practicing it when you have some time. Do you have
Gotcha. Makes perfect sense.
any? Do you have any questions? What did anything feel? How to say? Gray, let's say, like a gray zone for you that you didn't understand perfectly, except the massive modulations that you can't physically do because of the crazy stiff springs.
Yeah, let me maybe reiterate my understanding of the big ones, big modulations on the tight donut. So essentially, what I'm changing, and I guess it doesn't really matter whether this is a big one or this tight one, wide or the tight one, is that I balance the efficiency, like the distribution of my effort between my leg and steering, but the effect. This is the fuzzy for me still. Like, okay, I know like that I'm balancing, redistributing my energy to from hand to foot, but what's the the effect on the car? Whether this is like a
So
for example, like bigger angle or like lower speed, or, which parameter am I really also adjusting if I shift the lever between throttle steering and the wheel steering?
okay, so give me a second. Let me open this real quick. If I'm on the same video, I want to show you. I need something to wait. Am I sharing still? Ah, nice. Well, I didn't even know. So let me find where I was. Where were we? Where was the tide? It's probably somewhere here, maybe. No. Where the heck was something about? So was it this? You watching?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, let me see if it's here. Maybe I need a bit bigger modulations to explain. Now, if this is even bigger modulation, it's not it. Let me find where. So, mm, okay. Bro, look at this idiot explaining stuff. I want him to drive. So, what am I showing here? So look at the wheel, bro. How much work do you see me do with the wheel?
0.
Watch. Oh, sorry, I forgot to move my mouse. Look at the wheel.
Yeah, nothing really.
10 degrees. Now a little
Yeah.
bit more. So the more, now what's the drill? But you, every now and then you saw me pointing very little the wheel, and it's not even that often, like every 3 seconds, 2 seconds, something like this, like turn like 5 degrees, and that's enough because I'm pushing the max. I'm pushing as much as possible. That's up to the safe limit before spinning out. I can like definitely push the car to rotate way more with bigger modulations. What's the
Okay.
deal? I tell the car 5 degrees with the wheel, which is absolutely a joke. That's not gonna turn the car on its own. But remember what I told you. If you need, let's say, if in order to turn the car, you need to turn like 30 degrees. Just example numbers. Let's
Yep.
say I give 5 with the wheel and I give the rest 25 with the pedal. That's what's happening here. When I know the car maybe can support, like, okay, the car can support maximum this angle or even more, but I'll play it safe. I'll turn 5 and I'll do the rest with the pedal. So what I'm doing is like these bigger modulations that you see me do. Of course, I do. These are not that big. These are, for me, this is small modulations, but I do them very quick. So what does that do is, because I'm shifting the weight, playing with the distribution of the weight, I'm shifting the weight to the front. The front digs in the pavement, the back steps out because it loses the grip. When you, it's like, imagine you put like your gym weights in the trunk of the car, because now the trunk pushes the car, like the tires digging in the asphalt, there's more of the rubber patch in the asphalt,
Yep.
and that's gonna give you more grip, in a sense, if this makes sense to you.
Absolutely, yes.
So
That's
now
how aero works.
imagine if we grab your gym stuff and we throw it in this monkey driver in the front. It's like, he's like, wait, what you doing? Imagine we put them all in the passenger seat, or we put them in the hood somewhere like there in the front. What do you think is gonna happen? The moment you, like, you start driving and you slip the car and you lift off the throttle, you'll probably immediately spin out because like all the weight is in the front, or like the back will slip weight earlier because it doesn't have that traction anymore that you used to have, because the gym equipment was supporting in the back. So it's gonna mimic the same effect as when your tires get heated. You, instead of reaching the bottom gap on the donut, you're gonna slip halfway. Remember that, the distance. So
Yep. Yeah,
my
yeah.
my point is that when you do these modulations and you're constantly shifting the weight to the front, you shift the weight to the front, back starts to step out because it loses more grip while you're in drift. And then you keep doing this non-stop. Weight to the front, back steps out, weight to the front, back steps out. And as you modulate, you're also constantly keeping the car in drift and keep it, balanced. So there's no way when you do the modulations,
Okay.
the car won't escape you unless you start changing too much or you do something frantically with the wheel. That's why what I do is I keep the course steady and I do a little bit with the wheel, and I'm watching or locking my eyes and paying attention on the road exactly what's happening. If the, and I just see by visuals. I'm used now to the camera rotating. So this, your brain is gonna build it with time. Just you locking your eyes on the monitor, you will start to understand by the speed of the camera rotating, the neck effects, and once you, now this becomes like a muscle memory, like a visual pattern that your brain recognizes. Okay, this much camera speed is that much, actually rotation speed. It's gonna link it, one on one together. It's like, oh, okay, the camera speed is the rotation speed, which is exactly the same thing. So I want you to think of
Okay.
like the camera speed as the rotation speed. So when you shift the weight, the back steps out, and as you see like the camera rotating before you do the modulations, the camera's rotating slow, like whoop, and then like you shift the weight and the camera starts suddenly like whoop, like you see how it very fast starts to turn. You see the change, the shift in speed, the sudden one. And it's gonna be for, if you just do one modulation, it's gonna be for like 1.5 seconds, 2 seconds, and then it's gonna start to slow down, depending of course on the grip of the car. But I want you to practice this. If you were here still, I do have still some time. I want you to go very quickly on the donut if you're in the server. I'm not sure if you left, but I want you to let's go and give it just a quick go. You can warm up the tires while you're going there.
All right.
Just a quick test. I want you to get the feeling, and then we can wrap up, because I'm getting confused. Look, it's been 1 hour of me like explaining things like this. I'm getting brain dead as well. I'm not a robot. Maybe I'll be replaced with an AI soon, but careful with the grass. Yes, you want to do modulation. You lower the bass. When you match, like, you change the surface, which is changes your external grip. What is in your control? You need to worry, like they say in life, only worry about what is in your control. The external surface is not in your control. You already slid there, right? So you're already on the grass. So what you
Yep.
want to do is, what is under your control is the throttle. So lower the bass. When you know, like, okay, the grass is almost like ice, I'm gonna go down on 20 and do modulations between 20 and 40, very little. So that's how you handle these. Now, stay steady. Now, look, don't worry about even the tight donut. Stay on the big one. Stay steady on one amount of throttle. And now, I want you to do just one modulation. You could do like big one that you want, and you'll see. So first, set course and do one modulation. You see how much, like that little whip there? You see how I want you to lock your eyes on the hood, on the trunk of the car as you drive, and pay attention what happens to the rotation. So turn a little bit the wheel and do big modulation. And you see how much is that. You see how the speed you build momentum, like you see how much speed you gained there?
Oh.
Like
Yeah,
with
but
the
it's coming
rotation?
with a delay. There's a slight delay, right?
Yes, so like, I mean, initially you gain momentum because like you're rotating the car, but it washes out. So that's why you keep constantly doing modulation. You're basically what I do. That's why you see me non-stop doing modulations. Is I'm feeling the grip. It's almost like I'm constantly
Gotcha.
pulsing. I'm constantly pulsing to know what grip percentage, what grip I'm dealing with. If that makes sense.
Okay. Yes, it makes
And
sense.
when I know
So,
what grip I have, it's almost like, how to explain it. It's, I think the best one I can explain it is like, now you go to the beach, you go in the sea. You go deeper, but like where like the water is like next to your shoulders, but I'm constantly touching the sand on the bottom to make sure I'm not like the sea's not pulling me in with a current, right? So I want to
yeah.
make sure that I'm touching the bottom. When I stop modulating and pulsing, it's almost like, okay, I can no longer touch the sand on the bottom. So now I gotta find the grip. I'm looking for the grip. So, and then you start like swimming a little bit. You go in more to the shore, and then you start touching the sand again.
Yeah.
That's me.
Okay. All right. Okay, I get it. So essentially, we are shifting this like steering distribution because that gives us first of all more stable platform, and then the wheel is using to like control different variables. It's no longer like initiation and maintaining the rotation because that's what
You're only
pedals do.
guiding the car. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's almost,
Okay.
you know what
Okay.
it is like. It just turns like in your real car, and you're just cruising. You
Yeah.
just like turn a
Okay.
little bit left and you turn a little bit right. But now, how much, what exactly is going on with the car, grip wise, angle wise, rotation wise, and so on? Just accepted that like you can control it with the throttle mainly, and that's why you see me, I'm barely touching the wheel. Of course, we talk about the donut itself. When we go to the other stuff, of course you can now implement other techniques that will include the wheel, like flicking the wheel hardly left or right, or like you do like a big turn with the wheel, then like handbrake and stuff later on and so on. Of course, that will include a bit more steering work, where like you snap the car, do more things. But here, like, this is a corner, never ending corner. In any corner that you go, even in the with the pro cars, when you enter a corner, like let's say you're steering a wall or anything, you don't steer like a maniac. Like I'll
Yeah.
go and give me a second. I don't have that much videos, bro. Like when my life chills down a little bit, I will be able to, go back and drive again. Let me see if maybe the Logitech one. Oh, come on, bro, with these ads. Uh, then I can. When my life chills a little bit, I can probably start driving a lot. But so if you can see, this is the Logitech. I'm lazy to find with the
Yeah, yeah.
Thrustmaster. Oopsie. Once you get in the corner, look how much am I steering? I'm just controlling the car. Like it's like a real car. You're cruising. Look, was to catch the angle, you catch the line. That's the one. That's the angle. That's the thing you want to keep. Whoop, and that's it. How
Yeah.
much am I moving the wheel?
Okay.
It's like I'm just guiding the car where to go, steering it. Bro, it's like you're on the highway. Like, oh, I want to merge in the left lane. Slowly left, slowly right. Like you're waving
Yeah,
in.
okay, makes sense.
You're
Makes sense.
blocking the traffic on hazards left and right. Like you're doing. Look, and that's that. By the way, that's the Logitech. That's not even the Thrustmaster. Small wheel where I have to turn way more.
Oh yeah, yeah. Right.
So look, how much do I have to? Like, how much work am I putting with the wheel? Like,
No, like barely.
look, let's see how much work we have to do with the wheel. Let's watch again. Yes, there are moments where you have to steer a lot. Like, let's say you chase somebody, like there's like multiple options. I like to left foot brake if the car allows it. Some cars that are crazy grippy, you could just do like mini handbrake spams and things, and you have to steer still, but it's not gonna be anything major, bro. Once you set the angle, then you just like stabilize it. It's like the same like the donut, that just the control zone. You just control the
Yeah.
car a little bit, like 20 degrees left, 20 degrees right. Like, let me pay attention how much degrees I'm moving while I've already got the angle I want, the desired one. So let me see. Okay, when we initiate, we go into angle. Okay, 20 left, 20 right, 40 left. Well, I had to steer a little bit more, and that's with the logic again.
Yeah, that's
20,
nothing.
20, 20, 30 right, 20, 30 left. Same. You see, like we're not even that far from the 4 degree rule. Yeah, it's a bit more. The car's a bit more aggressive. The car's a bit more violent. Requires more inputs, but it's not like I'm steering 100 left, 100 right. Something that like
Yeah.
because I wanted to clear this out because in your head you still have this doubt they might have to steer like a maniac, like big left, sharp right, and all kinds of these things. No, no, no. It's the same, bro. Look, like, look. Oopsie. What are we doing now? Imagine, pretend we're doing a massive donut. What
Yeah.
am I doing? I'm
Right. Yeah, you're
following the
right.
line. This is a massive donut. We're following it with crazy speed and high gear with like a high horsepower car. And what happens? The donut makes a turn. And now we go the other way.
Yeah.
And then
All right.
now the donut makes another turn, but some asshole put a wall there. And now we have to be very careful. And then we go on the wall, and that's it. It's like
God.
imagine you grab like you grab half of the donut. We made this, then you chained it with the other left half that was
Yeah,
cut
yeah.
with the rest, and it became this. And then you put the other one, and that was like literally like this course here on Misano is literally like almost you could just fishtail the car like left, right, like it's such a nice flowy track. It's I love it. So look, it's almost like a snake. So left, the snake makes a left, then it's right,
Yeah.
and then the snake goes left again. It's exactly how the snakes move, bro. It's like vroom vroom,
Yeah.
left,
All
right,
right,
left.
man. Got it. Got it.
So
That's a brilliant explanation. Thank you.
see, it's donut goes everywhere. Just you have
Yeah.
to use your imagination. Simple. So
Right,
anything
man. That was awesome. No, that's
eh,
perfectly clear.
I know I know you probably had to go something like this, but this is very important to me. Of course, I'm a bit late with my scale. I'm trying to eat my food, but I couldn't eat it because I want to explain these things. So I'm gonna finish it now. But for me, this is very important. Like it just can't let you go unless it's absolutely unnecessary with doubts in your head. You need to know why you're doing something. Like, isn't this the point why we're doing all the coaching, right? Like,
Yeah,
I can't if I tell you do this or do that, and you're like, okay, I'm doing this, but what the fuck does it do? Like, you're like, why am I doing this? You need to answer the question in your head to know with certainty. Okay, I'm doing this because it's gonna do that, and that's the reason.
precisely. So I had
So
the what, I had the how, but now I got the why. So this is, I have a complete picture. No, I zero questions.
so
That's
that's
all.
this is exactly why I'm trying to push all these things. So because if I do give you do this and do that, it only goes a certain way.
So far, yeah.
A lot of people teach like this. I used to teach like that, and then I realized that I teach like this because you could check. There's a video from I think 2 or 3 years ago, drift coaching session with Akuma, and I used to teach like this, do this and do that because I had absolute no technical knowledge and I couldn't break down why I'm doing all these things, and I had to start digging and learning more about how physics and all these things work and so on. And I realized that the more I knew, and if I can simplify it to give it to the people, then they will start to answer a lot more questions for themselves. And eventually, of course, which is a loss for me, they will not need me. Which, it's better to gatekeep and you always come back like, hey, I have this problem, I have that problem, rather than you learning how everything works and then you can analyze it yourself. And then you don't even need me or to pay me. Does that
Yeah,
make sense?
absolutely.
So, but I think this
All
is
right.
more the moral way. So, if that's all, then I'll have to bail out and I'll leave you, and I will
Yep.
catch you in the next session, bro. So,
Yep.
great driving,
Okay.
Adam. I'll catch
Thank
you
you.
next time. See you, bro.
Thank you. Bye.